It's 201. Where are my patch notes? 2. It still says 3 because I set this for daylight savings time. 3:04. So that means 2:04. This is Eastern time. 3:04. Where are my patch notes? Oh, I see here some kitties dangling out from chat and some fishies swimming under them. This is madness. Aha. Let's go, baby. I'm going to turn this up. Actually, you know what? No, I don't want it too loud because I don't want to be quieter than it. Oh, no. Okay, I thought it froze on me. There we go. Ooh. There's like some kind of recap of this year. Hera, you got the new Zhang Kui skin that everyone's loving. I don't know what that was. Yeah, these are like skins that came. New bundle featuring Inner Demon Hell. Oh yeah, it's like a Legend of the Foxes where I got all my rat skins, but I had to spend real money for. Look at that, a whole recap. I don't know what that was either. The Ares story, Baron's release. Release Baron low. Splice Winning Worlds, good time. I was there for that. This should be hype, man. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this. Smite's going in a great direction. Excited to hear what they have to say. Maybe I'll turn off my camera at some point. Probably not.
Welcome all. Season 6 is finally upon us, and we've got a ridiculous amount of patch notes, things to discuss over the next couple of weeks, well, and days as well. Things we're going to break down today, however, crossplay and progression, the new Assault map, role queue, ranked updates, and stuff to do with the lore as well. It's going to be a very action-packed show. There's still other shows to come as well, which we'll get into more detail shortly on. And to do that, I've got 3 lovely gentlemen on the couch, 2 returning men that we've seen.
Role play, you guys. Role play is going to be so huge. I can't wait for it.
And over in the corner, is Hi-Res. Welcome back.
Hello.
The Messiah of Paladins has arrived back to Smite.
I'm back. I'm back. And the whole set's changed since the last time I was here, like a year and a half ago.
It's nice, right?
Yeah,
it's nice. You had hair back then, too.
Oh, I did not. I haven't had hair for a while.
It's funny how guys always sit the same way. Every time they sit down on the couch, it's always the same way. Pay attention to that. Every week.
Yeah, so I was executive producer for SMITE for a while, up until the beginning of last year, and then I moved over to Paladins to help them out with some challenges. And now I'm back, kind of over all the game teams at this point.
Okay.
So Realm Royale, Smite, Paladins, and then an unnamed other project that we're working on. So I'm kind of keeping track of all the different teams now.
Unnamed project.
Big boy now above everything.
General manager.
General manager.
Does that mean you get the blame for everything, or do you get the credit for everything?
Oh, yeah. Hopefully the credit. I don't like the blame.
You get both.
That's fair. Leave that to the individual teams for the blame,
Anything
right?
I've learned about leadership is you get both.
Yeah.
You always
Pretty much I get blamed, yeah.
Well, first thing to discuss real quick on the show is going to be some of the hot button known issues and status of those things. We had a couple of hot fixes just recently over the course of the last couple of days, was it?
Yeah, we've been doing some really big stuff on the back end, like getting our databases and all of our technology ready for cross-play and cross-progression.
Yeah.
And it's had some interesting side effects.
Okay.
So we've had a couple issues that we know have been talked about a lot, and we've been spending a lot of time to get those solved, and we actually released a bunch of hotfixes this week to finally get those out.
So just so you guys are aware at home, then these updates, we're just going to read them out real quick because we didn't really announce what we put into this. So on Wednesday, on the 9th, it takes me a minute to work out the date because you always do them backwards over here. It always confuses me.
We do it frontwards.
You do so well anyway, Hindu man.
I try my best.
We got to stand out and be different.
On Wednesday, we released an update which fixed some of the issues with Arthur's ult, where target can become immune to damage. We also fixed an issue where Arthur's twin cleave costed 60 mana from level 1, and we fixed incorrect card art shown for Tier Wing Justice and Merlin skin. Interesting.
Right, those events had temp art, and now you can see.
Oh, I noticed that when I went into the event, it had a tier skin for the Merlin
Including
skin.
the unlimited Merlin skin.
Right.
So you
Then
can see
on
that now.
Thursday, we fixed the Steam to Steam users unable to invite were not able to connect through Steam Friends.
Party issues.
Right, that's what I should have read it
Big
as.
hotfix to party issues.
I got the complex jargon on this sheet is what I got in just like, hey, we fixed the party problem.
So not only are we getting ready to merge, between Xbox and PC, but also a Nintendo Switch. We also have Steam.
That's right.
Support getting added to a lot of things right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also,
Interesting.
We also fixed an issue for the mute not working for VGS and map pings. That was a
Fixed
big
the
one.
issue where you could not mute your teammates or
Teammates.
opponents on their map pings and taunts and VGS. We fixed that. That
We
is fixed.
also did a fix for the trade request pop-up not showing for draft pick and assault
and customs.
and customs, which is
Big
on-
fix.
Some clan fixes as well, which were fixed an issue where inviting anyone to a clan showed that the player has not found, even when online. Also fixed an issue where newly created live accounts that join a clan could not be promoted.
I wonder how all this stuff happens, man. I would love to know what goes on behind the scenes in the computer programming side of this thing.
Yep.
And none of these issues were
'Cause the
really
most random
code
things get-
issues per se. It all
get messed up.
generated from the Fusion integration that we did
Gotcha.
for all the databases.
Right.
And
So-
we found some holes that we had that just didn't support that. It basically how we combined IDs and all this other thing to
Right.
make sure that nothing collided when we put all the data together. That had some side effects that were very hard to reproduce.
Yes.
Internally, we couldn't even reproduce them, but we were able to figure
Yeah.
it out based on some live data.
If you're returning to SMITE, there's 3 big things that's happening for SMITE, and Chris is talking about Project Fusion. And Project Fusion is our implementation of course, SMITE on Switch. So SMITE will be the only game of its kind on 4
I'm gonna have to
platforms
try that
now,
and see how that
including
works. That's gonna be
SMITE
so
on Switch.
awkward. Smite on
And
Switch.
then the other 2 things are cross-play and cross-progression. And, you know, really we're one of the few, if not
Huge.
the only studio taking an existing product of this magnitude
Right.
Yep.
and making it cross-play and cross-progression.
Yep.
Right.
So Project Fusion is our way to make sure
Yeah, I don't
all
think we've
that
said
happens.
that publicly yet. The
Yeah,
Project
yeah.
Fusion.
Yeah,
That's like an
that's right.
internal
That's
term.
right. And it's
Good name.
it's a you know it's a oh my goodness, you know, so this is my, you know, it's technically second MOBA that I've worked on and I consulted on a few of them. No other game of this type has ever done something like this. I learned a lot. We learned a lot in doing so, and there's inevitable issues that we have to work through in there, and there still will be some here and there. But
That's an
I'm really
important
proud
point.
about getting it into this stage, and really excited about seeing Smite grow.
Sure,
with
especially
this.
with the age
Yeah.
of the game too. I mean, this is
These changes are so huge. Inevitably,
The game
some
is
things are
only
going to go
getting
wrong.
better.
That's a good
Still going
point.
strong.
Single
Still going
season, it's
strong.
Big
exciting.
improvements,
Yeah.
and you know these big changes, these big fixes. Thank you to the community for keeping us helped and informed. This issue, we could only actually reproduce these in live.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
100% of the stuff worked in the studio in every possible way.
And in
We had-
PTS, by the
yeah,
way.
and in PTS, in every environment. So we had to have live, so we couldn't have done it without the community giving us
Yep.
the details.
shout outs to the community. Next thing then to go through is
Shout outs to the community. No complaining at all. Just helpful. Just
That's the
constructive
first thing everyone
criticism.
wants to know. This is what this show, today's show, Monday show, is really about. We got to give the whole context for the whole season 1 updates.
Yeah.
Because we're splitting things up into a couple different shows. We think this is going to work out really well. Instead of me and Hinduman standing for 3 hours, sweating profusely, 3 or 4 maybe.
remember Valencia. Now.
I mean, I remember, and I don't want to do that again.
I actually thought about that when we were doing this patch show, and I heard it was going to be like a couple of shows we do, and I was like, "Huh, that's unusual. I wonder why they're doing that." And then I did a flashback to Valencia,
Yeah.
and went, "That's why they're doing it."
So, although there's lots of things you're excited for in season 6 and you want to hear these things right away, we got to do things in an order that makes a little sense. So today is the overview order.
Yeah.
So first thing we're going to talk about is the schedule. So we're talking about season 6 right now, and we're going to talk about a lot of things today that pertain to the game and core gameplay directly. Then tomorrow, we're going to talk about balance. Tomorrow's going to be the balance show. All of the balance changes for gods and items and main game modes.
An entire 2-hour show for balances. Holy cow, it's going to be a whole new game. I'm not even going to be able to keep track of all of it.
Which will be design Q&A. So me, Pon, and Clumsy, who have been working on all this balance stuff and season 6 stuff, we're going to be on a live stream answering questions, clarification, looking for feedback on the pitch. So really what we're going to do is going to take a whole week. We really have to spend a little bit more time on some of our back-end Project Fusion stuff. So PTS for 6.1's not going to go up until next week.
Okay,
Most likely, I think Tuesday is what we're planning on.
aiming for Tuesday next week.
So we're going to do a discussion week. So you're going to all have the changes tomorrow.
Right.
We're going to talk about them. We're going to go to the pro feedback Discord. We're going to do the community Q&A. We're going to look on our forums and Reddit and Twitter. We're going to make some sticky posts there where everyone can share the things they like, they don't like about the patch notes. And we can take this whole week to talk about things we like and don't like and make changes.
And we're
to
going
those
to ignore
changes
Twitter
before we
because
even get to
Twitter's full of a bunch of
So today,
complainers.
tomorrow we're going to be discussing things to do with everything that's going on in season 6. Wednesday, you're going to get a chance to voice your opinions with you guys.
More
and
interactive,
questions.
more of a conversation
Yeah.
with the community.
Maybe we need to clarify a change, be a little more specific. We'll
Sure.
go into more details. Maybe people want to suggest something that we missed or something to solve a similar problem, but in a different way. And we'll be open to making changes, and we'll have this week to discuss with the community. You know, we always take a little extra time when we do a new season.
Yeah.
And this year is no different. We have even bigger things than we normally have.
And let's reveal maybe a little bit more about Merlin on
Oh.
Wednesday. Let's do
right.
that. Let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a
Yeah.
big thing on Wednesday. We'll talk about how Merlin's stance changing works.
Yeah.
So we're not going to talk entirely about him till a little later, but on Wednesday, we'll tell you how that's going to
Well, I was just getting up to that because there's going to be these 3 shows this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right.
And then there's going to be one more show.
Okay, yeah,
In
one
the
more show. So the
future-
4th show.
The 4th show, which isn't going to be this week, I'll give you the dates when I have it, but that will be everything to do with any new skin content that's coming out for the game,
Right.
along with Merlin, and a chance for people to like have some of that feedback spoken about if there's any changes that happen,
Right.
based off the information we put out. Is that how it's going to happen?
That is how it's going to happen. So
Perfect.
quick recap.
4 shows.
3-day shows this week
Yeah.
and discussion period. We're going to look into our changes. We're going to figure out what we like, what we don't like. Next week, the 4th show, which will be the final 6.1 show, where we show off skins that are going to be in the patch and show off any balance changes we made during the discussion period, and reveal Merlin's entire kit as he's going to be a 6.1 launched god. So it's a big show next week, and then we'll go right into PTS after that show. We can all start playtesting Season 6 right away, and then we'll have another week or so to get feedback in based on PTS before launch.
So PTS is going to be able for about a week, is what you're saying now.
Hype, man.
I think it's
One
actually-
week
we
till
have a season
PTS.
4. Is that something we're going into on here? Is the season? I don't know why. I said
This might be the
actually
biggest
more like
season. This will be the biggest
Yeah,
season
PTS will be
Smite's had.
almost 2 weeks.
Right, okay.
Before Season 6 launch.
Okay.
So we're taking our time here, making sure everything goes smooth.
Cool. So we're going to be taking regular updates from the community as well as changing things throughout. Okay. We can move on then to, we've already talked about why we're making this schedule.
Did I cover everything? Yeah.
I think so.
Season 6. I know that was a long one.
You did.
Thanks,
Yeah, I mean,
guys.
there's a lot of things going
We
on.
always take some extra time, but then we're taking a little bit more, not just for balance feedback, which we definitely, that's a big part of this extra time, but we're also a little bit even more for that cross-play, cross-progression.
That's right.
Good.
That's right.
So with that, then we're looking through things.
Be
And obviously
patient,
this is to
gamers.
do with the cross progression as well, right? It's like it's going to take a little bit more time to make sure everyone's working out with the crossplay too.
Right. And also, since we're taking this time, this is a really important time for our internal development schedule, right? So these times when we take a little longer cycle, this allows us to kind of reset and make changes in a way. We have some really big change going forward that took extra time for us, the way our development worked in our pipeline. We had to kind of take this time to make things work out. And that is a very exciting announcement, which is next year, we plan to ship.
This year.
This year, sorry. It's already January. This year, season
season
6.
six.
Next season, we plan to launch every patch simultaneously on all platforms on the same day.
Plan.
Oh.
Plan. For the record, plan.
Planned.
Why do we have to say the word plan there, just so people at home understand why?
Oh, that's a great
That's
question.
really
And
good
the
news.
reason being is because there's a lot of times things that are out of our hands. So we always want to do that.
Right.
But because of certain reasons, because of how some issues may be only on a specific platform, we have to go with the flow at times.
Okay.
It's almost like you're running a TV show sometimes where anything could happen
Yep.
and we have to go with the
A
flow.
live show.
A live show.
We
Like-
never do those.
Like,
I don't know why-
like right now?
like right now.
Yeah.
So no, our plan is for next
Yeah.
season,
Yeah.
patch everything at the same time, and if it doesn't happen, just let you know it's not because we don't want to. It's
Right.
because
We'll
there's
be as
an-
transparent as
there's
possible.
an
about why.
exactly there's
Right.
an isolated issue, or because certification with either Sony or Microsoft or let's say Nintendo
Right.
That's
That's a
pushes
new
us
system
to
we're
new
learning
time.
right now. You know, we're
That's
still
right.
learning that.
The
as a
other
studio.
thing that we're doing next year, starting with season 1, is basically having all of our development focus in on what we call mega patches, right?
Right.
And to the community, you won't see that as much. It's more of an internal thing. But 6.1 and 6.2 will both be done content-wise during 6.1.
Okay.
Now that gives us extra time. So instead of having to patch 24 times a year, we're slowing that down so that for our content schedule, so that we have 12 major patches that we have to branch from development from. This gives us extra time for testing, for cert requirements for other platforms, but also to get feedback so that we can get changes out in the field faster, because we're not dealing with so many of these like, hey, we just released this patch, but we're branching for this other patch almost at the same time.
Sure.
This is going to give us a lot more time to focus on bugs and focus on things.
These are all such great ideas. If this gets executed correctly, this season is going to be so huge.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
things are having to be still being certified.
But I can imagine the outrage from console players if
reduces the amount of work.
patches don't get dropped on the
Is it
same
you
day.
guys
And now
saying
that they
we're
said
gonna have,
that,
like, one patch note show a month then?
No, we'll still have.
No,
patch-
it's same.
No, we're still going to the community. We're still going to have every 2 weeks. We're going to be patching.
Okay.
That's right.
But behind the scenes, for us in development, it's going to be really 12 times a year versus 24 times a year.
Right.
But
So
we'll still have 2 patch notes a month. We're still going to probably have a patch like that what we would call a mid-cycle patch.
what
Could
that
still be
should
bug
mean
fixes and things like
is
that.
patches
But
come out
it's
more
really the
smooth
development
and
team
balanced.
that has to manage all of these different branches.
That'd be nice.
It's going to be a much more simplified process, which will up quality,
Gotcha.
hopefully a lot.
So in a weird way, like, we get 2 patches a month like we always have. So
Yes.
two
Always, yeah.
patches a month like we always have, but one's going to be more focused on the meat of the game, and the other's going to be behind the scenes sort of bug
That's
fixes
right.
and things.
That's a
That's
good
right.
way to put it.
Yeah,
I
okay,
think.
cool. So that
Yep.
makes a lot of sense.
So more
Yes.
quality of life stuff
Yeah.
we're going to
Yep.
focus on
Feels like
using
a
that
more
new
focus
patch.
towards
But
that.
to you, it won't feel any different.
Yes.
To you, from
Except
a patch
hopefully
cycle.
less bugs, higher quality releases. That stuff the community will probably pick on over time.
Indeed. Yeah.
Great
And
ideas.
I guess we move it on to the
Wow.
next bit I've got down here, which is to do with the Switch launch patch, which is going to be
Oh, yeah.
5.25.
Yeah, so since we're taking this extra time
Yeah.
towards 6.1 launch, we're gonna do one more patch actually, and kind of move this in between.
Right.
We're gonna do a 5.25 update. It's gonna
Okay.
be mostly for the Nintendo Switch launch patch.
Right.
That's the software that'll be running on the Switches, and we'll also use that time to update some bugs and some other things for the other platforms.
Okay.
Good.
And with the launch of that, we're going to have a new skin that's going to be available.
You're
There
talking
will
about
be.
for the Switch skin?
Yeah.
Or, Oh,
This is
the
uh,
Vaporwave.
Vaporwave Poseidon.
Oh,
One new skin that'll be in this
dude,
patch.
no way. That looks too sick.
Hoverboard Poseidon.
He's
Yeah,
on a hoverboard.
he looks
Wow.
When do we get to see that in more detail? Like in game?
We'll see that on the 6.1 fourth show when we go over all the skins and content in game.
Imagine a special effect of
Actually,
him like
maybe he'll be using
doing
launch-
flips
I
and
don't know.
kickboards and stuff
Wait,
like
what,
that.
Is that the Kraken?
That's his Kraken.
His Kraken's a big
Is a-
T-Rex with
Is a
sunglasses.
I
laser
love the
T-Rex
look of
inside.
that,
I don't
dude.
even think I've seen that
That's
before.
his
That's amazing.
He bursts out. He puts the sunglasses on. It gives you a little point.
And that's
like-
available on. That's going to be available on all platforms.
That'll be available
or-
on all platforms
Okay.
in 5.25, which will launch sometime in between now and 6.1.
I hope his
right.
name is High Rex.
He doesn't
You can
have a
call the
name, but
Rex
that could be
anything
his
you
name.
want.
He's now called
Yeah.
Hyrex.
Keep your eyes out for some giveaway codes for that
And
one.
that skin is the
Hope
one
we
that's
get 'em.
voiced by Jason David Frank, the voice of the Green Ranger.
Tina was on
Or
the actor who plays the
Yes,
Green
that's
Ranger.
right.
Oh
the
yeah,
Green
Tina was
Ranger.
so excited
He
about
voiced
that.
the skin
Yeah.
and he knocked it out of the park. He's amazing.
He was really fun to work with, and Tina was so excited. She was like messaging everyone, "The Kraken's gotta beat a T-Rex with sunglasses and lasers popping out."
No, yeah, we were on the fence about this skin idea as a whole until Tina pitched that, and everyone was like, "Yes,
that's
do
the
it."
skin. That's the magic of the skin.
So Switch will be 5.25, and then
That's
that's when the
right.
Poseidon skin will come out, and then we'll move on to 6.1 on Switch, and everyone will be together.
So I think we
So
covered
s-
all the 6.1.
That's right. You mind if I jump on Switch stuff, or you
Go
want to
for
save
it.
that?
Go for the
So
stuff
the
with Switch.
Switch is going to be released on closed beta.
Right.
You can access by getting the Switch Founders Pack, and that has a lot of exclusive content.
How much is
Some
that?
of the most exciting pieces is the limited skin, which is the Dragon Empress Scylla skin.
Oh, cool. So
which-
like how PlayStation and Xbox got their skins with them.
Something
like
similar.
Sorry.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
similar. So for the Dragon Empress Scylla skin. you
Oh,
can
I think
only
this
get
one's
that from the
$29.99.
Founders Pack. So that's one and done. So if you want to get the Dragon Empress Scylla skin, you can grab the Founders Pack and support us.
I think I
while
saw
we
this.
Get the fourth platform ready for Smite. Also, there's a whole bunch of other content. You'll get the Ultimate God Pack. You'll get some gems.
Get the
There's
God Pack.
Dashing Deceiver Loki skin. And if you buy before closed beta starts around the 24th, you will get 2 extra pieces of content: an extra Foxy Amaterasu skin, and also some extra gems. So definitely support us. Grab the Founders Pack and get that limited skin and all the other content.
I guess on the subject of the Switch, then I guess we need to start talking about crossplay because
I'm probably gonna grab that and just try Smite on the
And
Switch.
Nintendo Switch will launch with cross.
See how it feels.
Right,
It's gonna
it'll
feel
be the
so weird. I
basic
know.
Crossplay though,
Okay.
like Paladins has right now. So Paladins released on Smite, and it had basic crossplay, which meant basically that
Oh, you guys can't read this
matchmaking
now?
would look across Switch and Xbox for players.
Neat.
And that's how our 5.25 will launch. But it won't have the additional features like, hey, my wife plays on Switch and I play on PC. we want to party together, or Xbox and Switch or whatever it happened to
Okay.
be. So that won't be available in 5.2.5, but it will be coming in 6.1.
So we're doing it in bits just to
Yeah,
stagger it a
that's
little bit
right.
and make sure
In
things
that
are working
particular
first,
case,
right?
it'll be done in 2 phases.
Yeah.
Rip PS4,
Switch
man.
and Xbox play together to
Yep.
start off with, and then eventually PC will be added
Yep.
to the mix. Is that how?
Right.
Xbox will have the option to opt out of that because that's a platform requirement for
Okay.
Xbox.
Okay.
So, but by default, everyone will be playing together.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's crossplay that's going to be going on. The cross progression is the next thing on the list because, you know, like I want to play on Switch, but I also have my PC account.
This
and I
is
don't
a
want
big
two
one.
accounts.
This
Yeah,
is a big
this is
one.
pretty big.
And this is one that's taking a lot of technological effort behind the scenes
That's
to get
right.
it working. But yes, we plan on having a system called cross progression, which we're talking. That's what we're calling it now. You'll be able to link your accounts.
Okay.
We're going to release a lot more specific details on this as we get closer to launch. Same with crossplay. So keep an eye out for those as we update the FAQs and give you guys some directions on how this works.
Right.
But you'll be able to have choose a game account as your master account, link those all together, and then it'll merge everything together. So you can have your skins, even your worshippers earned from another platform, all mixed together when you log in on PC, even if you earned all those things.
They
on
get
Switch,
combined?
vice versa.
One
Yes.
caveat.
A couple caveats.
Uh-oh.
Just like I said.
Caveats.
There'll
No
be some more
caveats.
Specifics as we go forward.
You don't pick what your master account is. It's done automatically. So let's pretend I played on PC. I'm level 5.
Yep.
I've got a Xbox account. I'm like level 100 or whatever happens to me. And then I have a PS4 account or whatever, and that's on its own.
Yeah.
When we merge, we're going to look at the records that we're merging, and the master account will be chosen based on your level, your player level.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So the reason for that is
I don't think it's
now
gonna matter, though.
It's really super difficult to merge and aggregate all of the achievements and your progression and having different places that you're at on all your different accounts. So your master record will be where your achievements live.
Oh, okay.
And that's what when everything gets merged in, the final result will be, for achievement-wise, it will be whatever is chosen as the master account.
Okay.
And then all of your inventory and all of your currencies are done just aggregated together.
Okay. So your achievements that you've done on your master account, the one you play on the most,
Yep.
we'll keep all the achievements there.
That's right.
Your other accounts, you're not going to keep those achievements, unfortunately, because of this.
No.
But you will keep any gems and any skins that you've purchased on those accounts as well.
That's
As
correct.
platforms
I think I'm
allow.
still a higher
Now,
level on
there's
Xbox
also
than
platform
PC.
achievements like
Rip.
Xbox achievements, those things, or Steam achievements,
Yeah,
those
that's
things
right.
are not touched. So no matter what happens, where's your master account
You keep
ends up,
those.
your overall system achievements or
Right.
platform achievements aren't touched. It'll just be your in-game, like, maintained achievements.
There's
Okay.
a lot of specific details that go into this,
Sure.
which is why
Yep.
we don't want to go into every little detail, and we know there'll be a lot of questions, so that's why we're going to make sure the community is.
Thank
involved
God
in there, and
worshippers
FAQ
get
posts.
combined
That's
instead of
right.
you
Honestly,
take
that
one
plays a
side
lot
or the
already
other.
of, like how these interactions are going to work.
That's
with
huge,
the
dude.
accounts together.
Right.
The only real loss could be like your level 8, 12 account that you play on Xbox every now and again. You know, you're not going to get the achievements you've got.
But
So
most likely
That's
you've
right.
achieved all those things, and also
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I'm level like 120 on Xbox and like
So
150
it's gonna
on
handle
PC.
99%
But hey,
of the cases,
keeping
yeah.
your skins, keeping your gems, that's important.
Merging
Yep.
and your worshippers, that's exciting too.
worshippers,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Worshippers, yep.
yeah.
Oh, gems get merged too?
Okay, so that's a little bit about cross progression. Is there anything else we need to mention about cross progression?
I mean, obviously, once
That was a way
progression,
better
after
update
we
than
do
I
the
was
linking
than I
and the
thought I was gonna
merging,
hear.
which is kind of done one time after you link and you log in for the first time. Then it's just like all the other games that offer cross progression, meaning that if I progress 3 levels on my battle pass, if I go to the Xbox, I'm going to see that progression that I did on the PC. So it's going to be awesome once all this stuff gets
You
done.
buy a skin,
behind
you've
the
got it
scenes.
automatically on all yours. If you rank it got up to diamond, you've got it automatically on all of yours. Those types
Yeah,
of
that's
things.
That's right.
Yeah.
Still don't have
One
Archon
question about cross progression,
Thanatos
it's not
though.
on here, and I just thought of this now, and I don't want to try and put you on the spot a little bit, but there's stuff to do with the Switch and that going into beta right now, as well as the cross progression. How's that going to work with like purchasing the bundle to play on the Switch and then how the cross progression work?
You mean like the Ultimate God Pack?
Yeah,
you buy
yeah,
the
sorry,
Founders
yeah.
Pack? Yeah, so if you buy the Ultimate God Pack on the Switch, you'll be able to play it on any other platform.
Right.
Gotcha.
If you
grab
buy
it,
the Switch
use that.
Founders Pack, you'll get that. You'll get those skins available to your other accounts as well.
That's
Once
right.
we get to cross.
What if we already have the God
Just
Pack
not
and we
the
want it
same-
on the
So
Switch?
limited Dragon and Priscilla, if you
Right.
buy it on the Switch, you can play it on any other platform.
So because
in fact, that's
Switch-
the only way you can get that skin.
Because Switch is
yeah.
in beta right now, you have to purchase the God Pack and then you can play with your other accounts. Is that correct?
The God Pack is part of the
depends.
Founders
Yeah,
Pack.
that's
but
part
there's
of the
not
Founders Pack.
another option.
That's right.
So
Okay,
you
that's
will
right.
have possibly purchased it. already on another account, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, one thing that we're
guess.
still
Is that
working
the
on is the
question you're asking?
Switch account linking. Because right now, if you're playing in Paladins, there's no option to link your Switch account with your high-res account right now.
Okay.
That's something that we plan on having hopefully by 6.1.
Right.
But that's one of the areas that we're still working with Nintendo to make sure we can do that. So in the case of 6.1, if we don't have this Nintendo account linking up yet, your Switch account's just going to be on this little island.
Okay.
But as soon as we get a linking, when you link, it'll do the merge then.
Right.
Cool.
So if you have like 5 or 6 different accounts, 6.1 will probably take care of all of the ones except for Switch.
Right.
And then Switch, once we get the account linking in, it'll get merged in just like all of the other ones.
So
If there's any
just
Switch
allow
players
us
that
to
play
game
Smite on
with
it, let me know how it
Nintendo.
goes.
How's that going to work with the
Yeah,
Switch?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We've
after-
thought through all that stuff. We
Good.
just haven't announced it all yet.
I'm glad you had an answer and you didn't sit there and go, we don't know. Otherwise, I'd have been like, oof.
No. Yeah.
So that's cross progression, but then we've got to work a little bit, I guess, towards cross play, right? Like cross play spoke a little bit about it.
And as we are saying with cross progression too, there's a lot of things we're still working on right now. There's a lot of things that might change.
Right.
There's a lot of things we don't know all the details about the specific settings and things like that, but we do
Yeah.
know we're gonna have crossplay. We want more people in Smite to be able to play together.
Yeah.
We want people to invite their friends and invite people to parties across platforms to play games together. We're
Yeah,
gonna
so when 6.1 releases, we will have true crossplay for the first time. Even the Switch, Xbox crossplay. That's kind of what I would call crossplay light. This will be true crossplay, meaning that you can invite your wife, who happens to be on another platform, to a party. You guys will be able to talk to one another through. We have a third-party solution called VBox. We're implementing VBox on all of the platforms, and it should be implemented by the time 6.1 is released.
There you go. Just in case you got PC and your wife has Xbox, now you guys can play together.
Cross-play.
and just to know that with ranked modes, we plan on keeping those platform specific.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
for
right.
ranked modes, we want to preserve the level of competition for now, while we look and see how the whole cross-play ecosystem levels out between
Sure.
skill levels.
If-
We have
if
a
there's
lot
one platform
of
doing
data
better or
to
something,
collect
yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
I
So
understand
yeah, going forward, if you ranked will always be your option to play with only players more on your control scheme.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm checking through the crossplay. We've already talked about worship as an
We
experience.
did talk about that. Yep.
being calculated with a merge.
Makes
So we've
sense.
gone from post that.
Yep.
Smart.
We've already mentioned how do you make sure all your accounts are linked? Well, I guess we're going to go.
There
into
will be a
more detail about that
website version for that where you can log into your Hi-Res Studios website and see all of your accounts and your platforms and make sure they're linked, and you'll see the options.
later. I will
there.
prompt people to do that as soon as it's available
Yep.
to be done.
Now,
Right?
there'll be actually 3 ways.
Oh,
The one way is the website.
yeah.
The second way is if you log in for the first time after we introduce linking, you will be prompted in the UI if you would like to link. And that's stuff that we're still working out with all the different game teams.
Right.
And then the third way is you can go to your settings and it'll say if you're linked or not, and it will have a button.
Nice,
that
I
will
caught
let
that.
you go to a website, or we'll also maybe have a QR code where you can just point your phone to the settings screen and it will bring you to the website so that you can link. So there'll be
Nice.
a couple different ways. Hopefully they'll be fairly intuitive.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds really good.
Yep.
So I'm just reading through this because we've talked through all this without doing it in order now. Where I'm like, okay, if I link my account across
Yeah,
cross
we went a little out
We're
of
making
order.
Hindu Man's
Just
job
merge.
harder is what he's trying to
Yeah.
tell us.
No, it's just what Chris is really good at doing this all the time. He just comes out and goes, "Here's all the info." And I'm like, "Oh, where am I?" I'm like,
We got a little ahead of ourselves on Nintendo Switch.
we did.
Did we cover everything about Nintendo Switch?
So we've already
Yes.
mentioned about when Smite will be available on Nintendo Switch, which
beta,
is looking
January
at January
24th.
24th, correct?
That's the 525 update.
January
Crossplay with
24th, that's
Xbox
10
available at
days,
that
baby.
time.
That's a week and a half.
Pack.
Oh, guess what? We get to do some new stuff now because these guys have talked through everything already. It should be time for Mr. Hi-Res Finch and his boys to go over stuff to do with the new assault map. Are you ready, Finch?
Oh,
So-
new assault map, baby. Let's
You
go.
surprised them.
Maybe.
Dun, dun,
We're
dun.
too
almost
fast.
ready.
No Finches in the
you ready?
bathroom.
They were like, they
Not
still got to talk about
doing
Nintendo
it.
Switch for all this time.
Yeah, I know, but we're not. Like
Finch is in the bathroom. Let that man do his business in private.
I jumped in early. Sorry,
Don't
Hindu
just sit
man.
there like you're all so desperate to get this information.
Oh,
Poor
man.
Finch is ready to share.
Chastised by Hindu man.
Oh man.
Oh man.
They got
It's
nothing
all
to talk
stuff
about
we've
right
set
now.
up For all of these things, like this is going to be a big week. I love how we're doing the setup with the season 6 with the discussion and the community feedback and
Yeah.
the PTS phase. I think it's going to get us some of the best discussion we've ever had as far as gameplay goes. really excited about this whole system.
So
Yeah.
we're waiting for finish at the moment with the assault team because they weren't really ready to go through that as quick as we thought they would be. I've got one question about the cross progression stuff, and it's probably going to be one that you guys don't want to answer as much.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just going
Ooh.
to put it out there because I want to know myself. If I've got an Xbox and I've got this skin, say for example, Tier Puppeteer, right?
Okay.
But I've also got it on PC. What happens to just merge and it's fine?
Yep.
You just have that skin.
Yeah,
You just
Okay.
have
Yeah,
one
the
copy
skin,
of
yeah.
it.
Cool. I
Yeah.
just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that's what will
A
happen.
better
Yeah.
question is,
I think the players, people
We don't get a
wanna
gem
know, though, do we get
redemption,
refund
20
something
gems?
on like that skin purchase. And
No.
I'm pretty sure
No.
the answer is no, right?
The answer is
Suck
no.
it up.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
that would be a nightmare.
No, I know. I know. I just had a feeling there will be people out there that'll ask that question.
Yes,
and
that's a good question.
It's a good.
100
Another
gems for
good
every
question
combined
would be,
skin.
What if I have an
Pay up.
exclusive skin that's only available on a certain platform? The way that I believe it works, now you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, is you can use that skin if you're playing on the let's say it's an Xbox exclusive skin.
Right.
You can equip that skin if you're playing on Xbox. If you're playing on PC, you'll see that you own that skin, but you cannot equip it on the PC
Oh.
because you're playing on.
because you're playing on the PC.
That's
and
cool.
this
I
might
like that.
change from skin to skin. There might be different rules around certain
Right.
skins.
That's right. He's
Well,
talking about skins that might have.
I
a
forgot
specific
there were
logo.
platform
Right.
exclusive skins.
Microsoft Amaterasu skin, for example.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
stuff
right.
like that.
It's always well
So
good because
they're going to be
but-
very one-off, very niche skins, but there will be cases where you might only be able to equip them on a platform that you acquired the skin on.
awesome.
But you still might be able to play the Xbox skin
Yeah.
versus PC players by just playing on your Xbox and partying up with some PC players.
That's
and
right.
queuing
The
into
PC
crossplay.
players will see that you have the Xbox skin on, but
Yeah.
it's wild.
Our,
Right.
our goal is the
it's
most
a new wild
Yeah.
world for sure.
You know,
Still
our
not
goal is the
gonna
most
turn on my
player-friendly
Xbox.
solution, which is,
Sure.
you have your inventory, you get to try it out, you get to play it there.
Yeah.
But of course, we have partners that have specific, policies, so
Right.
we have to respect them too. But
That's right.
ultimately, our goal, whatever is, most player friendly to you, whichever you get the most out of your inventory,
Yep.
we like that method.
That's right.
So we'll keep pushing for that.
Honestly, the ideas are all right.
We've done enough stalling on the
These are
couch.
all great
I've
ideas.
asked enough
When
awkward
these
questions right
are
now.
all
So
implemented,
boys, it's time
the
to
bugs
talk
are
about
ironed
the
out,
sweat
and we're
about
really in the
assault
full
match
swing of
changes,
season
what we might
6.
see in terms of the artwork.
This is going to be a big
Let's head
year.
over to them
It's
now.
going to be a
First of
blast
all,
to play
is a
Smite
switch.
this year. Oh, hello. I wish I could do that. Like, program like that. Make these kind of videos. This is all recorded on the Switch. Holy cow, look at the buttons on the bottom. You probably can't see under my big old head. Look at. Are they going to go back to gameplay? No, they're not. Too late. ZLX. Everything else, you're muted, buddy. Oh, boy. Finch, we can't hear you. Oh, no. Somebody tell him. Somebody tell him he's right down the hall. I wonder, is it me or is it them? Oh, yeah. No, look at chat's. Oh, no. Somebody go tell him. Rip, dude. I'm assuming they're going to send somebody in there.
Great look at the assault back there. Yeah, it was really interesting listening to
Rip,
Austin
dude,
and
that's such an
about
F.
everything that went into the changes on that. As you can tell, the mute button seems to be broken over there. We'll be getting that fixed for you and hopefully coming back to you soon. But in the meantime, we have replaced Chris Larson with a fabulous man that you may have known for giving you some of the best and greatest sales Smite has ever seen. It's Gabe! How's it going?
Hey, what's up,
Gabe,
man? Good to be here. What's up?
So, Gabe, you're here, and obviously Richard and AJ staying with us as well, because the next part of the show we're going to talk through
Technical
is the Smite
difficulties.
law. Well, no, we can just move on.
Just
We're
when
on
everything
the
was
show.
going
have
so
more to
smooth.
talk about,
We'll
that is
come
for
back
sure.
to that.
Yeah, no,
Always
we
talk
definitely
about
have.
more
So
Smite stuff.
we definitely teed up lore, and man, can we show the video, or do you want to wait for that?
I
made you go
think-
too fast last time.
If the production can let me know if we can be ready for the video, because there should be a video now.
Okay.
Cool. Production's great. Let's have a little look at the King Arthur and Merlin video. I said
Oh,
Merlin.
we
I
get
wasn't
that
right.
earlier now. I'm glad they had technical difficulties. Look at the size of that castle. Imagine living in one of those. By the way, Excalibur and Smite is the coolest looking weapon. So it seems like there was some kind of war. He lost his knights, maybe somebody he loved. The castle's in shambles. What's he doing here? Okay, so he just defeated that guy somehow. Then he burned his picture. Oh, Schnikes, is that a portal? Oh. Who's that? Is that Hera? Why would it be Hera? It was Hera. Oh, that's that other guy, that Jormungandr, I bet. Or Jormungand.
Goosebumps every time, man. Every time I've seen it since the initial pitches that were just.
That's
pieces
right.
of
That's a few
sketch
months in the
paper.
making, and the team did an amazing
So
job with that
good.
video.
So
Yeah.
the section we're up to now is really going over the lore for Season 6 and
That's
how
right.
we even, in the first place, got to having King Arthur and Merlin fighting on the Battleground of the Gods, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we'll get there.
So, start off with Odyssey 2018. How does the lore end up fitting into Smite, first of all? Like, what we've seen a lot of jumps in Smite, because originally it was like, hey, it's based on gods. Yeah, like, cool, we know
Right.
these gods, but now we're actually going deeper into the lore of Smite and actually making a lore story of why all these gods are interacting.
Really, it's about making the whole game a more cohesive experience, bringing everything together, making it all make sense, and giving it extra weight and meaning behind it. For a long time in Smite, we just made characters we thought we were cool and levels that we thought were balanced and things like that.
Yeah.
To make the game fun. And there was some lore, and there was some of it was history, and some of it was just in the god pages and things like that. But it felt like something just extra.
That's right.
It didn't feel like it had a lot of meaning to it. And starting in Season 5, we changed that.
Okay.
When we redesigned the Conquest map, when we were designing that map, like besides just making it look cool and making it play better, we were like, why is this map the way that it is? What happened to our world? And what is going to continue to happen to our world?
Yeah.
And we try to carry that on through the rest of the year, all through Season 5 and now going into Season 6. That's a big goal of ours. Something that Richard really pushed for to help the design team make our designs even better in ways that make the characters and the events of Smite meaningful to players.
Yeah. And if you're new to
I like
Smite, part of the lore of the Battleground of the Gods is that the gods live in this world
2,
where
3.
they're fighting for worshippers.
Right.
Gods are
I just heard
fueled
Finch.
by the adoration.
It's the only way to be a god.
By
right?
the mortals,
you need
that's
to have
right.
Worshippers, they
Yeah.
rely on the mortals and their praise of
Sure.
them. And some gods choose to steal worshippers through violence, and others choose to earn them by showing their good deeds and making the fields grow and making sure that the humanity can live happily. But all different gods need worshippers to even be of a god status.
For Season 7, thinking about it, I've got a really good idea for you. Okay?
No, okay, what is
So we're
this?
just gonna go
What is
completely
this?
off
What
the
is
rails
this?
real
What
quick.
is this, Hindu man?
Listen,
What is
AJ's
this
used to
story?
this, but what about this, right? For Season 7, you steal worshippers from other people when they're playing their god. So you can get rid of that.
I'm out of here, guys.
That 27-star Loki. You can make
Oh
him
my
2 stars.
God,
You're
Hindu.
trying to get some beating him over and over again. No,
That could be a good D&D campaign.
Imagine the
I mean,
rage
you
if you could,
and
if someone
the rest of
could
the
take
gang.
your
So
worshippers.
where I was saying,
Back to,
What had happened
we
was-
started with the beginning of season 5 was where we really kicked this up a notch
Yeah.
with the new conquest map and the events of Ragnarok, which we had started with the comic books
Yeah.
and some videos and things like that. And in season 5, we're like, Ragnarok is happening now. Our villainess, has officially made it happen through her magical means and taking down some other key gods. And that caused a great destabilization in the Smite world. We had fire raining down from the sky. We had the fire giant appearing from the realm Muspelheim here to destroy the earth. And we have the Hades, the god of death,
Ragnarok.
being massively powered up as more and more worshippers fall into his underworld. So he capitalizes on this event as Ragnarok to raise his kingdom up to the surface. And he's trying to build a new world is what he wants to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him like a traditional villain, where he's not just trying to kill everyone. What he's trying to do is end all suffering.
Right.
And in other ways, it's good to look at him like a misunderstood villain or misunderstood protagonist, depending on your
If
outlook.
life and death are one and
Yeah.
the same, then there is no death and there is no happiness, and
That's right.
everybody can live, or not. There is plenty of happiness, no sadness, and mortals don't even have to worry about the pain
That's
of
right.
losing each other.
It's the world I live in right now.
Yes, but you know the other gods had problems with that plan. The other gods had problems with that plan, and just so I don't end up like Gabe's hilarious video here, where we talk for 3 hours and then it's in place.
I mean,
you know?
you're gonna need some
move
time
on.
to go over everything. I mean,
Yeah.
how much time do we got? 3 hours?
But we
4
went
hours?
to the divine uprising, which is where we
Yeah.
turned our focus to the gods. So first we started with the world, and then we went to the gods. And the divine uprising was really about giving more meaning to why new gods were showing up in Smite and what they were doing to the world when they appeared. Obviously, a completely new god showing up into this battle would have impacts. So Chernobog intimidating Bellona and kind of revealing some of her dark side to herself. Because although Bellona,
I don't even
is
remember that
is
video,
violent,
honestly.
she's driven by war, so she's not all good, right?
No.
You know what they need is one
then
long
Dara started
cinematic for
teaching
like
her
the
about
entire
death and the importance of crossing over
entire
and
season.
kind of
Like
giving us
not
more of a hint
a
of
separate one, but
Hades'
put all these little videos
ideal
together.
world is probably not going to work
think that'd
for
be
a lot
dope.
of our other gods. They won't like that. And then finally Pele, who was our hero at the end of the Divine Uprising, finally
Yeah.
able to remove this Ragnarok power from Hades and disperse it. However, although Hades was stopped for then,
Pele can remove
Ragnarok
power from
was not
anybody.
stopped, and we still had a lot more to go.
We did.
And that's where we got into the Odyssey and Hera. And Hera worked her way through all of her challenges and strifes and goals to really prove herself as a leader. And really, we kind of took, this is almost a little fourth wall breaking on Hera, but we wanted to take her from this perspective because she hadn't been in Smite for so long.
Yeah.
So it was almost like us nodding to the player base who were like, why is this really, really known character not doing
here.
anything?
Yeah.
And so the gods themselves were like, yeah, where have you been? You know, we've been out here suffering and struggling and fighting for
And
our
you've been
lives.
chilling the whole
and
time."
you've just been hiding out. So we wanted to make sure that the other gods viewed Hera with skepticism. They didn't just trust her to be great leader, this great queen. She had to prove herself. She had to go through this journey and win allies over bit by bit to really prove that she was worth following as a goddess.
Then after Hera's Odyssey, this is where we're up to now, which is the Legend of Camelot, right? With King Arthur and Merlin going to be villain. I'm still going to have to call him Arthur. I can't call him King Arthur. It's just weird.
Is that your king?
He is, well, technically he's my king, but my queen exists, so it's destabilizing for an English person, you know. Like,
Whichever
can't be
you
both.
prefer, that's okay.
Thank
I
you.
understand if
Thank
you're not
you.
allowed
That's
to
what
say that. That's
be
fine.
that clear.
And yeah, this is what I've been working on with Gabe really heavily. Gabe has been my lead producer, my project manager for getting the Smite team and a
Yo, Jormungand looks so intimidating right there.
who we've introduced to y'all on the stream once or twice, and we met him at HRX this year.
Yes.
A very talented writer who's written a lot of Warhammer fantasy.
That's
as
right.
well as
Black
some-
Library, Warhammer
as well as
series.
some other stuff who's been working with us. So Ian is our writer, and Gabe is my main point of contact. And so me, Gabe, and Ian are working together all the time to kind of describe out these outlines, get really excited about what's coming up,
Yeah.
and then leave it to Ian to come up with the specific details.
So speaking a little bit about those details, and without going too specific, I guess, would be the way. What is the outline going to be for King Arthur and Merlin? It's all to do with what exactly?
Well, we had two major goals. One was to give them some backstory to bridge the gap between their historical mythology and the world of
Okay, Gabe's a
and the
cool
other
dude and
was to
everything, but he
just hype them up
hasn't
as
been
awesome
answered a
characters,
single question
because
yet.
they're the pinnacle.
AJ's
of
just taking
fantasy,
them all.
These two characters. And in working with Gabe and Ian, we kind of came up with this. It's a parallel timeline, really.
Okay.
So Arthur and Merlin have been in Camelot. They've been kind of isolated from the rest of the gods, but they've been going through the same events that they have. So when Ragnarok started and all of our gods were dealing with the conquest map changes and Hades' kingdom and defeating him through the divine uprising, Arthur and Merlin were fighting a different battle.
That's right.
Oh, really?
They were fighting to save Camelot. And Jormungand, the world serpent, actually chose to go to Camelot first. And you can read about this in the first chapter of the Arthurian event lore.
Okay.
Jorm goes there as the key part of Ragnarok and just wreaks havoc on Camelot, destabilizes the entire thing, and that's where Arthur's son Mordred sees an opening to take power for himself. And really what we saw in that trailer was that alternate timeline. where
Oh, that's
Camelot
Arthur's
is ruined,
son.
and
Oh my
Mordred
god.
tries to seize power.
What do I
from
know,
Arthur,
dude?
And then Arthur and Merlin are left in just the empty shadow of Camelot, trying to wonder what there is to do next. What will be their greater purpose in life if they've failed at this utopia they've created? And then that's when Hera reaches out to them.
That's right.
To show them that there is still more battles to be fought.
So Arthur had one job to protect his kingdom.
You had one job.
He had one job, and
bring out
to
some
him,
news.
he has failed, right? So he is the dragon slayer. He is ultimately there to protect his kingdom, and now he's looking for that meaning. So in that video, you see him just, cooped up inside his castle, wondering what's the meaning of his life right now. He does not know who's left. There could be no one else in Camelot. He just doesn't know.
There
He's
could be no
lost
one else
hope.
in the world
He
after seeing
traver-
how Jorm was so devastating.
That's right. He traversed the lands. He couldn't find anyone.
And then Hera
then
reaches out to Merlin.
Is there as his, brother in arms, looking for another purpose. He's researching. So when you finally see that book, he's found some sort of connection, which is the connection to the SMITE universe.
Did we get it all, Gabe?
Well, have
That's
they seen
a cool
chapter
little
2 yet?
transition. I
Chapter
like
2
that.
come
Well, chapter 2, no.
Not yet.
No,
So-
not yet.
How many chapters may we get, Gabe?
out? I mean,
May we get?
I don't know what
it's
I
all
can even
one
spoil it
storyline.
up.
Sure.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
all one storyline, right? So we
Yeah,
split it into chapters, but we're going to continue. We went right from Odyssey directly into Arthur, but they're all connected. The first chapter was a little flashback.
Yes.
But then starting in chapter 2, we go right back to Hera
Right.
and Ra and Thor and the fight with Jorm, but Arthur and Merlin are there, and we continue the story right where we picked up.
And
Pick
talking
up right where we left off.
more about the story. This story is going to tie in, I guess, with all the new releases for Season 6 too, correct? Like of all the new gods that are going to be coming out. The story should be following along with that too, and they're actually going to have a direct line into this.
That's right. So if you're just returning to SMITE,
Yeah.
we announced, of course, our 100th character, which is Merlin.
Right.
And then we also announced that we're going to have Jorm coming out afterwards. So you'll be playing
Jormungand, the Norse world serpent.
I think that's probably the only game you can actually play the world serpent in. He's
You're gonna
featured
get
in
to
other
be
games.
him.
Yeah, you get to be him and play him.
I don't know how you're going to make
The
that work.
play
but I'm
kit
like,
is
He is
crazy.
looking awesome. I'm
yeah.
so excited.
Yeah, Clumsy has designed a crazy, amazing, interesting kit. I'm excited about
it's
that.
very unique.
And after Jorm, we announced we'll have Horus and Set,
Right.
finally the fan favorites, and then
You've
more
been
to
asking,
come.
we will deliver.
Well,
There's a video out there that teases them out, but we're not going to say who.
we can't say who.
But-
but
I'm just excited to
I
see how
almost
they
did, but I'm about to
make Jormungand look in the
show
game,
video?
because
You have it
that thing is
Video here that's
huge.
supposed to be shown
I actually didn't even know that.
right
Okay,
about
see
now.
it.
You see it? It's on my list.
Okay.
Is now
Jumping
the
ahead of
time?
me again.
But you
Richard.
can't make
Are
it
we
too
gonna keep
big.
talking, or are we done?
No, because guess what? Good news, everybody. The people in the room have unmuted their microphones, hopefully, so we can go to Finch. But before that, here's a little look at that video that Rich was just talking about to do with gods and the lineup of Season 6.
The SMITE team is excited to give you a glimpse of all of the gods for Season 6. First, Arthurian legend comes alive in SMITE, with the great King Arthur and the Master Wizard Merlin arriving as the 99th and 100th gods. The next
like
god,
Hypnotic.
Jormungand, the World Dragon, will signify the end of Ragnarok. For SMITE's birthday, we will finally create the highly requested fan favorites, Horus and Set.
Somebody rewind this and stare in the middle of the
Then
screen
we'll
through that whole
introduce
thing.
a new pantheon, featuring a god that will rise well above the heights of Mount Olympus. We will also dive down into the darkest depths of the underworld. The season will culminate with a being so powerful that its arrival will threaten the existence of all gods. Join us
Ooh.
for all this and more in SMITE Season 6. The battleground of the gods awaits.
I'm hyped. Let's go.
All right, a chance to talk about the changes coming to the assault map one more time. Maybe there's some force out there that doesn't want you all to know.
They got the
but I
wrong
wanna make
names,
Sure
that's-
we learn about these
but that's
cool
fine.
new changes. I am again joined here by Austin. I got Fishman with me here as well. First thing, it's getting.
There we go.
Layout is my understanding. I mean, what's going on? Talk to us a little bit about some of these assault changes.
Yeah, so we're testing some slight layout changes to the map. So it'll play a little differently than people are used to.
Jungle buffs.
We feel like it's gonna be a fun way to kind of freshen up that map a little bit to make it play a little bit more dynamically than it currently does.
Yeah, it's still going to have the classic assault feel, but with maybe a twist or two.
Okay, looking forward to it because this is a popular mode, right? A lot
It
of
is.
people do assault.
It's very popular.
Conquest is sort of like our premier like competitive mode.
That's right.
You'll see a lot of people in arena when they're first starting out, but it feels like we all kind of coalesce in assault. So
Green
it's
buff,
nice. It's
more
nice to
healing.
love, as well
In
as
assault,
some
Baron.
art adjustments as well. I'm being told to have a new look.
Yeah, that's right. So we're completely redoing all the art in the map. Everything from the ground up is being completely redone. It's not completed
Ooh.
yet, but like the stuff that's in there so far is already looking really great.
Wait, you like go
And it's
upstairs
still,
out of your
still
fountain?
the Norse theme, so like we're a big fan of that theme, and we didn't want to go away from that because it's already has a cool look to it, but
Right.
it's kind of updating it to be matching more like what we've done previously with like Season 5 Conquest.
Sure, an arena and
Oh,
now
you
it's
start in a
assault,
ship.
So.
Getting a bit of I guess like a facelift. Sort
Yeah,
of.
we definitely we try to keep track of like what's been more fresh and what's been around for a while, and maybe could use some updating where our best ever would put in, and now it's assault.
Yeah, and it's an area where I think a lot of people are going to enjoy, if it gets a little bit of love. Also being told there's some new mechanics still kind of being worked on and tweaked here and there, but anything you could tell us about if there's any changes coming to how it plays?
Yeah, so we can't talk too much about go into specifics today, but
I'm gonna
we
ask
are.
you, though.
I'm sure you will. Yeah, but we are working on some new gameplay mechanics, trying some different things out. For example, it could be something like a health or mana pickup that you can get on the map, or maybe even a new buff camp that's on the map, something like that. But that's still stuff that we're working on, testing.
More
different things to
healing,
see,
more sustain.
Sure, nothing's 100% locked in yet, but we're talking about stuff that not only has not been seen in Assault before, but hasn't been seen in Smite elsewhere. So
Okay. Any chance that there's maybe little new paths or anything like that, or are we gonna have the same sort of line we're used to? Or
Wait, we're not going to
Mostly
get
the
to
same
see it today?
line,
Okay.
but a slightly different shape to it, especially
Okay.
in the center where the most contested area is.
Yeah.
So pretty similar for the general shape of the map, but there will be some new kind of places for people to navigate a little bit.
Okay, cool. Maybe some ways to try and shake it up. 'Cause I know now people can't kind of chill under the towers a little bit, so maybe some stuff to draw them out a little bit.
Sure,
more,
certainly
basically.
some incentives to maybe be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more at risk.
Good.
And maybe speed up gameplay a bit.
Okay. Well, what were some of the goals of some of these changes? Was it just to give it a new look? How different did you want the feel to be, or is it just freshened up, I guess, or what was
All
some
the
of
above.
the goals you went into when you were working on it?
Yeah, I think the main thing was, just for the visual update, we wanted to have it match, like we said, kind of what we've been doing with other map updates. So
Right.
up to that same sort of quality and visual style that we've been going for. But as far as gameplay, it's really just we wanted to freshen it up.
Right.
But we didn't want to change, like Fishman was saying, we didn't want to change it too much. We still wanted to feel like Assault, because that's people who play Assault want to play Assault.
Yeah.
So
Some diehard assault.
it's not going to be some vast new experience, because that's not what we're going for.
Right.
Sure.
It should
Keep
be
the
a
core
fun,
experience.
a fun new twist.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm very excited for some of these changes. I hope y'all can stay hard at work. I'm sure that
Yeah.
you're both busy. We still have plenty more, though, coming for you in the update show, so make sure you stick here. We got a little bit more coming.
Woo. I thought we were going to get to see the map.
Welcome back yet again then to the casual set, and today, first of all, we're going to go next some Project Olympus stuff for Season 6, but we'll have a little look back first of all at what happened in Season 5, right? Of all the good that we had from Season 5 of Project Olympus. Richard and you guys were, were big parts of that.
Yeah. So Project Olympus, if you're new
Oh, it's Isaiah.
to SMITE or just returning, Project Olympus is our initiative where we're focusing on quality of life features and fixes into the game. So we did a lot of cool things last year. We are always looking for continuous improvement, and the big ones are, we had the custom auto buy builds. We adjusted new player adjustments to make it feel better to level up. All the things right here.
Completely redid
Yeah.
the level up rewards to make
That's
them more
right.
entertaining and more interesting. There was very
Matchmaking overhaul.
for level up.
I'm most excited about full VGS on console.
That was a big
That
one.
was a thing
yeah.
that we were
That
super
was a
hyped about, and we
huge
worked
win.
hard to get that together.
Do you feel,
Commendation system.
do you feel we achieved as much as we wanted to? With
Full
the,
console has full VGS
Never.
now. That's
Never.
good.
So we're to work in the games industry. You got to be super passionate.
Oh
about
yeah, that
the
mini
games
game. I
itself.
played that
And
once and
even
then I
Smite,
forgot all about it.
You're gonna have
I
to
gotta
be very
do more of
passionate
that.
about the game. So
That's a
every
cool
time
addition.
We don't get a feature in that we want. Of course, it feels bad, man. But we're looking at the positive.
Yeah, of course,
Looking at
of
all the
course.
cool things we created, and super excited
So
how
many
much we
big things
accomplished.
this year. Looking
Yeah.
at this list, it's crazy. Between commendation, full VGS on console minimap editor, matchmaking changes, timed queue changes, big matchmaking changes.
I think
huge
my
changes.
favorite is
Jungle practice,
yeah,
complete new jungle practice.
Exactly. My
Yeah.
favorite. I've been seeing a couple streamers playing that VGS mini game.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that got added to the
Yeah.
learn tab.
It actually teaches you as you do it. 'Cause I
Exactly.
didn't know some of those VGS commands, so learning them is really
The
really
lists that when you go to any chest, you can see the full list of.
I got to do more of that VGS mini game, dude.
Jeez, we even have Zhonghui skin on
Yeah,
here.
oh yeah, most definitely.
That was huge. That was
Hypest.
huge.
Is he Project Olympus tier? Is that where he's at?
But now we've done that in season 5, then I guess we got to look at season 6 and like the community's going to want more, right? They're going to.
That's right. Well, we want more too. We want more too. So it's about, I think last year in many ways was the best season for Smite. We saw a lot of quality of life improvements. We also saw a lot of new players come in.
That fantastic new conquest map.
Fantastic new conquest map. I think this year, with all the new features, with Smite on Switch, with cross-play, cross-progression, which many players, including myself back in the day, have been asking for.
Oh,
I think there's
people
a
have
lot
been
of
asking for
amazing
the ability
things.
to share
Yeah.
their skins across their accounts for
Most
so long.
definitely.
We're so
Ever
happy
since we started
to finally
releasing on
bring
new
that.
platforms, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it took, it looks like it's just a matter of months, but it really has been an
It's-
over a year-long
Yeah.
project for us, from a business partner relationship down to a
technologically
technical
difficult.
to implementation in the UI. All of this has been a behemoth of a project.
And going to season 6, we're going to continue that. I mean, we've already mentioned roll queue once today, but talk about it again, like that is a big part of Project Olympus. Making that function correctly and feel good is
That's
very
right.
important to us.
Right. So this is our big Project Olympus feature for 6.1. There's going to be more, but this is the first one.
Yeah.
Roll queue, and this is something that the Smite community has been wanting for a very long time. We're very happy to finally be implementing this. You'll
Huge.
have a settings option accessible from the queue screen or from settings, where before you can play Conquest,
Yeah.
you will need to choose 2 roles, your primary roles, or a fill option, where you don't mind which one you want to play. Then you'll queue, and normal and ranked Conquest will make the match, and then try to give everybody in that 10 people. We'll try to give them their most preferred roles.
That's right. And as since I've worked on a few role queues,
Yeah, go for
our goal is for players to get their roles in a higher frequency.
Okay.
And our secondary goal is also for less debate. We want,
So I don't have to spend a million years spamming
spend less time
JG
debating
in
about
chat,
roles in
only
the
for the
queue.
chat
Each
box
other
to eat it
the
up
whole
and somebody else
Horizon
call it.
system is
Exactly.
not
It's a
very-
silly system.
Yeah.
But I also want to clarify that
Like.
we don't want to increase the time you're waiting to get into a match.
Right.
Our goal is to not adjust that.
Gotcha.
And also, you're not going to get your role every time. We want to be honest about that. It depends on the role you're queuing for. So if you queue up for support, you're going to have a higher frequency.
What if
of
you're
getting your
partied?
role, of course, because there's less support players out there.
Oh, we know.
On the flip side of things, if you're looking for mid, you're going to get your roles far less in support.
Right, and that's why you
So-
select more options of preferred roles.
Right.
That's right.
So, this is going to be our first iteration of it, and we'll be very open to making adjustments and improvements as we go forward. But those are our key goals, and we really wanted to be careful about the way we implemented this to not cause any crazy matchmaking things like Mage is having to wait an hour for a match or something crazy like that.
Like
which we've
games
seen
crashing
sometimes.
half
So
the time you're getting them.
We did implement this in a way that would not affect those other factors.
Yeah, I've got a couple of notes on here.
Good.
If there are any tie scenarios with a player with higher MMR in ranked, or the player who has gotten their preferred roles recently will get priority.
Right, so we'll have an extra system where if you say you pick Mage and Hunter for your main roles, or mid and ADC, mid and carry, and you don't get it, and you don't get it, and you don't get it, we'll have a system
formula,
that keeps
yeah.
track of that.
That's
Okay.
right.
So then it'll keep increasing your chances each time. And
Cool.
if we're in the
Good.
ranked lobby, and
I think.
me and Richard have both selected Mage and ADC as our preferred roles, whoever has the higher skill rating will get their role.
And that's all
Good.
the back end stuff, so you're not going
It's
to
all the
see
invisible,
that. Yeah, but
This role queue thing will be
Good.
in 6.1.
It'll be working in 6.1. In 6.1
Nice.
for normal
Oh,
conquest and ranked conquest. list.
That's great. So as long as you play Cockroach, you can just call your role and hopefully
You will have to.
You'll know
pick
your
this.
role when you get in the lobby straight away.
When you get into lobby, you will automatically see that UI element on your God pick border that
That's
says your role, and you will be playing that role.
That's right.
Really cool. Okay.
That's right.
We also have a lot of other updates. Our customer service
Imagine
system,
trolls
support
not
system,
respecting
we're gonna be
that.
looking at
Like,
for people.
I get
You know,
jungle,
new metrics
I
to
get picked
judge
jungle,
which is
and then
whether or
boom,
not people who try to-
somebody
who
says jungle
rules
and
stuff like that
insta
out
lock
there.
something.
So
Like some kid
we're
did the
gonna
other
be
day to me,
doubling
and then he
down on
played
all
terribly.
that.
He went like
It's
2 and
our
11.
Amount of customer support people paying attention to that, make sure people use the system.
Well, I'm going to stay on the subject a little bit of the stuff to do with role queues because ranked is part of that. The ranked updates, AJ. Obviously, new season.
Yep.
What's happening with ranked then? Are we getting resets? What kind of resets? How's the rank system going to be working this year?
So we're changing a few things, and we did go into detail about this in a previous post.
Yeah.
And some of that has changed since that previous post.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll have to clarify
What is happening here?
things. But it will be a soft reset for 6.1. Soft resets reset you back to unranked.
Right.
And they set your MMR, your skill level, to a somewhat standardized level near where you're at. We don't completely reset it. A lot of people do ask for hard resets, but that essentially destroys all matchmaking. That literally removes the entire history of everybody, and there is no matchmaking until it sorts itself out again. So we don't want to do the hard.
And that takes a lot of time and a lot
We're
of
doing
games.
a soft reset, correct.
Right.
And that's intentional, and there's a lot of advantages to it. And we're going to be doing shorter splits this year. Splits will be about 2 months,
Oh, okay.
and then you'll get another reset. And what we're going to do for that is we're going to have changes to the reward structure and changes to the TP structure. So you're going to be earning TP a lot faster than previously because you have a lot shorter splits.
Right.
And we're going to have different rewards for each split you can earn as we did before, but they're going to be a little different. You'll be able to earn
Which
them.
they're not doing a hard reset?
We're still going to have the end of year rewards, so earning a skin at 75 games and 150 for the frame. So for this year, it was Gladiator Guan Yu and the Gladiator frame that you can earn. Next year, there will be something like that as well. And
And that's for the whole season, right? They
for the
can-
whole season,
If they play 150 games for the whole season,
you get the skin, right?
Okay,
But there will
cool.
also be split-based rewards.
Right.
And faster splits, shorter splits, and more resets.
oh, so there's going to be more stuff inside of the original games. Okay.
Right, and you'll be able to earn some gems even from those split rewards. So a couple of the things we really want to do, but we're going to have to take a little bit more time on.
Okay.
Because of all the cross-play, cross-progression stuff, it took up a little bit more time than we hoped. It's been a challenge. So what we're doing is delaying. One thing we really wanted to show players MMR. We wanted to let people see their ranked MMR in the game. It's something people have been.
That would be
big
so
debate
cool,
for years
dude.
and years. Lots of game designers out there probably yelling at the TV screen. Do not do that, AJ. Game designers generally don't like showing them
We
MMR,
debated
but we
for hours
know
about it,
what
yeah.
our player base wants to see.
We're trying to
Yeah.
satisfy what the player
So
base
that's gonna-
wants, even though it's a lose-lose situation, right?
Yeah, it's tough. But this is going to let people at least have more visibility over what's happening.
That's right.
It'll have some negative effects as well, but it's something we really want to stay true to the players and give them.
Really, the negative X is perception.
Right.
So I
No
think
one
if
tends
everyone
to and agree with their
just
skill
don't let the
assessments.
number control you.
Right,
Don't let a number
exactly.
control you.
There's going to be so much rage. I can see Twitter right
But
now.
no, so MMR
Bunch of
should be
MMR
red
numbers.
in a
People are
couple
like,
months.
my MMR is
Looking
not
at
this
a
low. It's
couple
because
months,
it's because I have to carry newbies and they throw my games.
Round,
My
uh,
ADC was
patches,
2 and 11.
patches
He
ish,
did
which
6,000
we're
damage.
shooting for.
Okay.
That's going to be.
That's the only reason why
short.
my
So
MMR
we're
is so
gonna do
low.
One split.
Right.
A little bit more. On the
I'm
old
so much
system.
better than this.
The first reset, we should be
Eh.
having showing MMR and leaderboards based off MMR. So that means when you get to the very highest ranks, you won't just be able to grind games in the middle of the night
To
against
go there.
poor matches to earn more points. You'll actually need to play tough matches where your MMR continues to go up to
Good.
actually be at the top of the leaderboard.
I mean,
Good.
to beat better people who've got higher MMR, you should go up, right?
Ranked series on
Also, if you're
YouTube
weaker than you
on this
should go
channel
up that much more.
Also, our
as soon
changes
as we
to
get
the
our
system,
next ranked season.
That's something we're going to
By the way.
working on in the future.
So that's all the ranks.
Casuals
Yeah,
on
so
Twitch.
ranked is we're making
Ranked on
So
YouTube.
stages of ranked, soft reset starting 6.1, and then your MMR, we're looking at adding that as well for being viewable. It's still not going to change anything really, apart from you can just see a number.
Just going to let you see it.
Like everything's still going to stay the same next season. Just soft reset, and we go from there. And every couple of months, you're going to be able to start over again in ranked and earn rewards based off where you finish.
Right.
It's pretty cool. Project Olympus roadmap. Richard, I'm coming to you for this.
Yeah,
because
yeah. So
there's a lot of stuff this year. That
coming, doing things a
on the
little
way.
different this year. We're going to show you what we're intending to do for the rest of the year. And here's our Season 6 Project Olympus roadmap. The order, the dates are to be determined. There's
Streamer mode.
what we want to do.
Recommended
there's a lot of partner
items.
stuff, a lot of technical limitations we work through.
Come on, Mixer. I knew I should have watched this on Twitch,
hopefully,
dude.
And I've seen this a lot on social, making it easier
Yeah, I'm watching this on Twitch next time.
for players to
GG.
make builds, and also giving better suggestions to them. Make it API driven. That is a amazing thing that not many games have ever done. So it'd be great for us if
That's
we can
so
do it
cool.
API driven.
Good.
So it's, hey, here's the knowledge from the game given to every player. Good for onboarding and good for new players.
They need to keep that
even
mode
for existing
specific, so I
players
don't want to know an
who
assault
are
build
looking
for a
to play
conquest
well.
game. Hopefully
Streamer
that's
mode. No, that's super exciting. Streamer mode is something where we're gonna find. Actually, AJ, can you? This is your idea. Do you want to jump
Yeah,
into
it'll
it?
be a checkbox that streamers will be able to enable to that nobody's names are shown ever.
Yes.
Because even though you can show just the god names over people and you don't have to press tab and stuff like that, players can still find ways to ruin your games.
Will that work on Spectator as well? Out of interest.
Good question.
It just means because I can make meme videos of casting.
Oh my God!
players
Get
and
release that
not find
ASAP.
their name on screen.
Twitch.tv/MadAccountant.
I'd appreciate
By
that.
the way,
'Cause then they go like, guess this player.
This
it was Wickens.
same as the YouTube.
I'm not sure. It depends on.
You just want to hide players who killed you. That's
Yeah,
what
the
I'm
main
hearing.
thing is to avoid people even getting the dodge match message is something that certain trolls could be happy about. So
Yeah.
we're not going to be able to show you that. You won't be able if you use that.
Oh my God, that
And
is
screen for
huge,
as
dude.
well, so it's, was on there.
Yeah, so Clans update is still in work in progress.
Okay.
A lot of work in progress stuff. So nothing to talk about. Just
Nah, that's not
as
as big of a deal.
In client?
Yeah, we've been getting players ask about that for a very long time. You know, we always want to make it as easy as possible
Gotta be
for
good.
players to find information. So why not, put the patch notes in the game?
That'd be great.
That way players can read over the changes while they're in queue.
part of the challenge right now is we're gonna have to we're waiting for that cross-play, cross-progression to get in, mainly cross-play. So once we patch together, that'll be an easier and better thing to
It'll
do.
have a big effect on clans. So we're going
That's
to wait.
right.
That we're holding
Patch
off
notes
on the clan
in-game
update until we make sure the whole fusion project
Is something I'm surprised it
goes
took them this long to
smoothly
do.
and cross-play
Importance as
clans
well,
working
right? Of
together.
like order of importance too, of like what's
Right.
more important. Yeah,
Yep.
I can see that. So that's.
I feel like that
the
wouldn't be that hard to
roadmap.
do.
And then the last thing we've got on here, Isaiah, this has been a big thing in the community already right now.
Yeah,
The Olympians
Definitely.
are coming.
Yes, they're coming. Voting is live right now. If you guys are not familiar with the Olympians program, this is a new initiative we're launching in Season 6 to where we're going to have a player-elected council of delegates. There are going to be 9 delegates with, they're going to be specific positions for representation across all platforms for Smite. And we're creating just a focus group to kind of get really into the nitty-gritty, to create a group to give us continuous feedback on, balance, Project Olympus updates. We really want that next level of players to kind of help us be that bridge between us and the community and get that really, really deep level of focus and feedback into that group.
Great idea.
Somebody in the community that's an influencer.
Should have been a
or
nomination
is a
process
well-known
before
community
voting.
face. It's very helpful for them to get votes, but at the same time, it's not really just about that. It's about what.
Other than
they're
that,
gonna
great
bring,
idea.
Right? What they're going to try and do to make the game better.
Exactly.
So maybe look at the people on that list that are giving good suggestions of what they'll want to focus on.
Definitely.
Like,
I say
better support for Box.
Whenever you
or-
guys are going to smitegame.com/Olympians to vote, each and every one of those delegates they put their heart into their bio.
Sure.
There's so much passion for Smite in each and every one of those participants. So take some time to read the bios.
Definitely.
You may not know everybody on the list, but there's definitely a lot to be accounted for in those biographies.
I personally prefer someone that says, "Hey, I really want to work on getting console things better because of this, this, and this," rather than someone goes, "Hey, I've been around the community for 5 years and played the game."
No, specifics, right?
Yeah, specifics is
and,
more
and I
important.
love on social, a lot of people are doing that. I see someone campaigning for themselves, and in the comments are like, "What specifically do you want to do? How do you want to make this better?" And I think that's a good way of voting for someone.
Yeah.
Have that conversation right now because they are going to be your representative. They are going to be advocating for what you want. So
not
might
an
as well
easy
ask
task.
them what you want.
No, not an easy task.
And they're also going to get more insight as much as possible. We're going to try to get them in so they can see behind the scenes what we work on.
The whole process.
The whole process, because a lot of things that people suggest, we want to, but it takes time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other minutia we have to work with too.
There is
we'll
one
see.
thing that I know of
Yeah.
through the years is where people will suggest something thinking it's not necessarily been suggested before when it has, but at the time and the date that it was first suggested, we couldn't do it because the tech wasn't there, the time wasn't there, or there was other
Partner
external
limitations.
There should have been a nomination
There's other
process, but a
things
carefully
that are
reviewed
part
one.
of the issue.
Always was.
It's a very
Where
exciting system. We're
your
really
social
happy that we're
following
moving from
shouldn't
conquest
count
and
or how many people
non-conquest players
nominated you.
Small platforms.
Yep.
We
That's right.
specifically designed the system to make sure we got that diversity.
Yeah.
That's going to be really.
We wanted to
important.
make sure that this group
But there should have been
players
a little more
all
specific
demographics
things I
across
think they
all
looked for.
platforms. That way we can get all the feedback in for us.
Well, go vote then, boys.
You know,
Yes.
we're gonna cross-play on you know, multiple platforms. AJ knows what I'm gonna say. You know, if one of the representatives want to let us get the 4th platform to cross-play, I'll vote for you.
Yeah.
I'll vote for you. You got my vote.
If
Help us out there.
You know,
If it gets
you
it
got a
done, I'll
connection.
request too.
We would love that. We would
Damn
love
it,
that.
Sony.
Give us
You
that.
got a phone call to make it happen.
Yeah.
I'll vote
Got
for you.
One more point here just
Yeah.
for voting before we end things off. Voting is live until January 25th. So you guys make sure you got some time to read through all those bios. Make sure you make an educated decision on who you want to represent you. You've got until the 25th to cast your votes, and we're super excited to announce the group, the Olympians, will be in early February when we announce the council.
I love Isaiah.
Get to
He's great, man.
complain about all of them whenever something bad happens now. You guys get away with it. I'm never complaining about Harris. I'm just like, oh yeah, the Olympians, it's their fault.
No,
No,
right?
no.
No?
I'm just
I
gonna
was
keep
say, I
blaming
don't
you
know
into
like, how
man.
you're imagining this system.
Yeah.
But
I'm blaming the Olympians for everything when that happens.
they just blame me anyway. We already
Yeah,
know
that's
that.
true.
That's how it goes. It's okay.
But this is the end of patch 1 of
Part 1.
4, technically, considering we're going to
This
do
week,
this
the
week we're
first
doing
of 3.
First of 3, but there is
Come
going
back
to be a
tomorrow
trilogy.
for balance. We got a lot of cool stuff.
Yes, tomorrow is balance, and when we say balance, items, gods, and conquest map specific
Most
changes
definitely.
too. There's a lot of stuff to go over. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. But not only to tune in for that tomorrow, but at midday tomorrow at noon, we're also going to be doing a very big esports weekly, which is a full breakdown of every SPL team and all the players that are going to be involved. So make sure you tune into that. And then straight after the
Sucks to have a job
the
sometimes, you know?
down nitty gritty of the Patch Note show too. From everyone here though at High Risk Studios, thank you so much for tuning in, and hope you got some good updates. We'll see you all tomorrow.
All right, cool stuff. Let's stop it right there. Make sure to tune in to the YouTube for the next patch notes videos. I'll have 6.1 second and third shows as well. Also, twitch.tv/MadAccountant is where you can find me most days. I stream on Skillshot on Twitch and simultaneously on mixer.com/SmiteGames sometimes as well. I'll put the Twitch, the Twitter, everything in the bio. I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.